We're greetings again, everyone. It's me, Nick Mike Like, and the magnificent Steve Frazier.
Hello, everyone.
And this is a doubly special commentary because, one, it's for Jurassic Park, which is a fabulous film. And we're releasing this on Steve's birthday of June 10th.
Look at that. Today's the day. So, yeah. And it's also the day that the new Jurassic World movie comes out.
Yes.
The final one of this current trilogy, I think.
I haven't watched one of these things in 20 years. So.
Jurassic World, I thought, was okay. The second one, whatever that one was called,
Fallen Kingdom,
was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. So sign me up for the new one. But yeah, here we go with the original, the greatest.
Mr. Spielberg.
Like, maybe a top 10 movie ever.
Yeah. So guys, you can follow along with our commentary, getting it synced up with your subtitles turned on, and we'll give you a countdown to get going. So in 3, 2, 1, play.
This is after the 36 menu preview things that Universal has on here.
We're watching on the standard Blu-ray. I kept batting around getting the 4K one, but I haven't heard the best things because they took it from like an older master, so it's not like a fresh scan they did for it. So we're waiting.
That's disappointing.
We're waiting for Universal to get their game together. Don't buy the Jason Bourne 4Ks. They look poor.
Not good.
Bourne Identity is taken from an old DVD master, and they upscaled it to freaking 4K.
Oh,
it's no good.
Yeah, that's not how you do it.
No,
that's at least not how you're supposed to do it. Let's all go back to the summer of 1993.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Talk about. I mean, this was a movie that was a phenomenon. That doesn't happen very often today.
No.
Mostly because of the oversaturation of the market.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a quote-unquote tentpole every weekend.
Yeah.
But I love the shadow, like, what are we doing here? So, back then, they only released, 300 movies a year, like total, and now it's like
feels like 1,000.
Yeah, it does
across all platforms.
So, the choices were limited, and this is not like, back in my day we had 3 TV channels.
Right.
I'm not going there.
Sure.
But when a special movie came out, it felt special, and this was a friggin' phenomenon. I
mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger knew this was so big, he tried to force Sony to push Last Action Hero back. So I think it was getting released like a week or two after this, and he's like, you guys got to move this back, we're going to get caught in the wake, and of course it bombed.
Right.
In more ways than one.
Right, it just wasn't a very good movie.
Yeah. You didn't have a chance when you got this playing, and like every cinema in the fucking country. The thing ran for... Also, this thing ran in theaters for a year.
Was it a whole year?
The thing didn't get released on Laserdisc until December of 94 or something like that.
Wow.
Like a year and a half later. That's how long it played in theaters. Because you had the regular theaters and you had the discount theaters and stuff like that. Where you go see it for like nothing.
Right. I definitely remember going to the cinema. Wow, like this is a great visual, right? Like we've already got chaos. Like this is what I was talking about when you set the tone at the beginning of a movie, and it gives you an idea of what kind of genre you're in.
Oh yeah,
right. Like they're not showing you anything here.
Yeah,
like you're just getting a glimpse. This is what you don't see is scarier than what you do. But we're getting action. It's a little scary. Like, I kind of know that I'm ready for some, like, heart palpitations later on in this movie.
Yeah.
Anyway. This is hilarious. Like, where was he coming from? Why couldn't he just walk around the pond? Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
But whatever. Whatever. Suspension of disbelief. That's fine.
Yeah, we don't have any... This one doesn't have opening credits. Who shot this, right?
Who shot this? Let me think. Off the top of my head, I can't name it.
Old Dean Cundey.
No shit.
He goes from Carpenter to Zemeckis to Spielberg.
Dean Cundey shot this movie?
Uh-huh.
How does that man not have an Oscar?
I have no clue. And he hasn't been doing anything of any note in forever, man. I think he still shot a couple of Zemeckis films around this time. I'd have to check. I don't know. He did like Romancing the Stone and the Back to the Future ones, and I think he shot Roger Rabbit.
I want to say he like signed off on one of those recent upgrades to like a...
You typically try to get him to approve those new transfers. He was nominated for a cinematography Oscar for Roger Rabbit.
That doesn't surprise me. Roger Rabbit got weirdly recognized as being this cinematic brilliance. Hey, look, a mosquito. This here is kind of what the... what's that?
I know you worked with Ron Howard on Apollo 13.
Oh,
So, I mean,
he shot Apollo 13?
Yeah. Dude,
I had no idea that he shot Jurassic Park and Apollo 13.
Incredible films.
This is... right here is exactly what every kid's idea of paleontology is. And it is nothing like this, I don't think. Well, maybe it was back in the day.
There he is. Sam Neill.
It's like the cartoon version of paleontology here. But you know what? For our purposes of telling this story, perfectly fine. Great hair on that flannel guy there. Look at that cowboy in the back with a mustache. I don't know what ranch he came off of, but...
Yeah, of course, this was based on the Crichton novel, which they changed. They did a lot of characterization changes and stuff like that all over the place. Like, Alan Grant is nothing, pretty much almost nothing like he is in the film.
I have a memory... So I never read Jurassic Park. I've always wanted to. And I have this memory of probably 1998 or so, picking up the book and saying, "Oh, I'm going to start it." And the opening sequence in the novel Jurassic Park is actually the opening sequence of Lost World, the second movie,
on the beach
with the little guys.
Scrappy ones.
Yep. That's the first scene in the novel.
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, did they really kind of just mix the two together, or you know what I mean?" And it puts out the second movie had such a bad taste in my mouth that I stopped reading the book, and I'm sure that it's good. I'm sure it is. I need to go back and revisit it. I'll put it on the list. I've got a list of like 80 books. Is that the kid from Nightmare 5?
I think so. I think that's all.
Was it Whitby or
Hurt Whitford or something like that?
Yeah, some.
Is it peculiar? Human child.
Why is there a kid?
Whit Hertford.
Whit Hertford. Okay.
Need a stage name, man.
Yeah, no shit. I don't know why he would, why there'd be a kid at this site, but the fact that there is allowing this this teaching lesson to be presented as such and not direct exposition, so that we understand everything that happens later on. It's actually kind of brilliant.
Yeah. And establishes Grant's character very well. He's a little bit of a... he's got this odd sense of humor in a certain way. Almost kind of cynical, kind of almost sadistic. Not like playfully sadistic in a way. It shows he's not very endeared to kids and everything, so it sets up his arc for the film.
Whit Hertford.
little more filled out than he was in Dream Child here.
Yeah. It's a few years later.
Yeah. Still got them eyes, though.
Yeah, he's got like a droopy eye.
Yeah. I think Sam Neill, when he's not acting, I think he's just got a ranch somewhere. He's just taking it easy with his beard.
Yeah, I imagine him like...
He doesn't look too much different than what he does in this film.
Straight on the set of like Yellowstone or one of those shows, yeah. Babies smell. I'm with him. I'm like, why would anybody want one of those?
And Laura Dern still looks wonderful, too.
Yes.
Kind of every one of this film still, aside from Mr. Attenborough, sadly. All the ones that are still with us, they look really great.
Not John Madden driving that helicopter, though.
Madden. Lots of flannel.
So much flannel. Well, it's 1993,
It's
Nick.
93, yeah.
I mean, flannel was the...
Not grunge flannel, but...
Right, it might have just... could have very well been the flag of the United States.
This treasure of a man here. A friend of mine was trying to... Because obviously it shot 185, so they kind of mat things off after they film it and present it and everything. And a friend of mine was trying to send me a version, like a full high-res, super high-res thing that was open matte, so you could see the boom mics and all the other things you're not supposed to see in it.
Right, yeah.
But I couldn't get it transferred. It was too big for my bandwidth.
Who'd have thought that, this kind of Cuban outfit that they put him in, the all white with the hat, would become would become this like iconic.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, I feel like costume designers don't get a lot of credit.
Not enough.
They get credit when it's like
it's a period piece, lavish stuff. When it's a little bit more
exotic, whatever.
Well, I'm talking about more contemporary, a little bit more subtle in a certain way. It doesn't stand out as much.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just think about all of the, just the regular outfits that people wore and how that became, like, an iconic image. Attenborough here, for example. I mean, if you see anybody in an all-white with a hat, this is what you think of.
He won the Oscar for Gandhi, yes. As the director. At least it was nominated. Kingsley won.
Yep, I know Kingsley won. He may actually have won. I think you're right.
At least the film. Maybe not him specifically as director, but the film.
Well, the film won Best Picture. And if he was a producer on it, I don't know if he was, then he would have won it.
The producers received those awards. Yeah.
Sometimes you win both.
Sometimes.
Like James Cameron in Titanic.
Oh,
Which
speaking of such things, Schindler's List the same year.
As this, yeah, absolutely.
Anything that's had a potential to win, Schindler took it all because
right.
Step forward in the cinematic landscape of prestige.
If you are, I mean, Spielberg at that point, Spielberg was highly regarded. When he made Schindler's List the same year, he became like the King Jew of all Hollywood and solidified the idea that if you make a Holocaust movie, it will supersede all other things in that genre.
That started the trend.
Yeah. And not only did it start the trend, it's like a pinnacle. Like, it's so good.
Pinned up on the board of the best.
Right, right.
Here we go.
Hey! Newman. Hello, Newman. Newman would have been, like, currently on the show.
Yeah, the show started, 89?
89, yeah.
Right, for 10 seasons.
I think 9. Yep, 89 to 98. And I don't know. Newman wasn't on it immediately.
No,
Wayne
it took
Knight.
a little while, but...
He has since passed on, I believe.
Wayne Knight? No.
No, he's still alive?
No, he's actually dropped a whole bunch of weight.
I thought he died.
No.
Oh, sorry, Wayne, if you're listening.
Damn
Sorry.
certain. I'm pretty damn certain. He's still around.
He's, oh, there you go. Barbasol. All right, so old boy there.
Industrial espionage.
Yes, so Wayne Knight is. Oh yeah, that's good. Is going to steal the embryos or whatever,
Yes.
right? Put them in the Barbasol and bring them to this guy
Yeah.
in exchange for that boatload of money
Yeah.
that he just got.
Like this bit.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, he's such a good actor. He really is.
There are some beautiful, like, wide shots here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even this shot is awesome.
Oh,
I love that the helicopter is perfectly centered
Yeah.
on the horizon.
There we go.
Hey, Mr. Malcolm.
Dr. Ian Malcolm.
Oh, excuse me, Doctor. Even this shot,
Oh, yeah.
I imagine they're not actually flying on a real helicopter.
And it's
and
got
this-
to be a rear projection, but it's a really well done
but it's
one.
so well done, and it's
They overexposed it just enough back there to make it work. And then the rest of it's probably just on a little gimbal that's
right. They're probably just sitting on a
waving back and forth. Like
Right.
a little,
set little thing.
a little fan or something like that, flickering or what have you.
Right.
Simple tricks, man.
It's not as old school as on Terror Train, where the guys actually, like, you had the
Right.
bars
Yeah,
rocking the
yeah.
car back and forth, but
Like Martin Ferrero as the lawyer, because
look at this shot. Look at this. Oh my God.
grand.
How do you not want to go there right now? So that is, okay, this is almost Stephen King-esque, right? It's like, you've got all these, like, normal people doing their regular jobs,
Yeah.
and then they get this, like, too good to be true scenario, and then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Here's another one. That rear
yeah.
projection,
They did a hell of a job of it.
it matches everything
It
that...
doesn't even. Most time you can kind of pick up, it's like it looks washed out or something like that. Whatever the hell they're doing. I don't know what, but perfect.
I think that the 90s were one of the best decades ever in cinematic achievement.
Oh.
As far as, like, technical standpoint.
Oh yeah.
Because we were learning how to use computers to our advantage, but they were not so obnoxious that they took over the production, where the entire movie looks like it was made on an iMac.
Yeah.
Look at this shot. That's an actual waterfall. I don't think
Yeah.
they're in Costa Rica or something like that right now.
Well, it's set in Costa Rica. I think they shot around Hawaii.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you might be right. It might be shot in Hawaii. You're right. I got it backwards.
Yeah, I mean, most of these sensible, big budget films of the decade were like, yeah, we'll use the CGI, but we're not going to overuse it. We're still going to use the miniatures, the model work, and some of the other in-camera effects,
Animatronics.
and then we'll use this stuff to supplement it.
Right.
Which a lot of films, just thinking today, is like, they don't do that as much.
Never. Because
they're-
it's all computer all the time.
Yeah.
It's fun with computers, and I hate it. I hate it.
That's why I went to see Top Gun Maverick. It's like, this is fabulous because there's almost no
CGI.
almost no digital effects. It's all like they got in the planes, they're all flying and having They have like 4 or 5 different little digital cameras in there. They photograph the whole thing as it's happening, taught the actors how to deal with the lighting and setting the cameras and all these different things and how to act without an actual director there. You just do it yourself when you're up there in the jet. Like, that is wonderful. It was a fabulous film, and it was so refreshing.
Now, talk about a segue. Dean Cundy, who shot this, goes on to shoot Apollo 13, like I just learned 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And in Apollo 13, they literally went up in the
the zero G
and dropped and did it live.
Yeah.
That's not computers.
Yeah, today it's all wires, like Gravity or whatnot.
Right.
It's like, it's all wires on a sound stage.
Right. Which, I mean, Gravity looked good.
Granted, that's practical. I don't dispute that, but
in Apollo 13, they literally...
that adds to the specialness of what people are trying to do at this time. Let's push a little further, see what else we can do, and just be ambitious.
I like this, too, that they hold on the reaction shot.
Yeah.
A reaction... Acting is reacting, right? They... Look at this. Look at this. I mean, you already... you want to know what is so exciting.
Right. I mean, it's very subjective.
This makes the next scene even more breathtaking. I can't believe that I'm looking at a dinosaur.
Right. I mean, it was so good in the marketing. They pulled it back so far. They almost revealed no CGI shots.
Right.
They used a couple pieces of the Stan Winston practicals, but they wanted to hold the awe and wonder back. They kept the trailers tense, leave you in suspense, so you're building up the anticipation to see the film.
Right. I mean, can you imagine? And I guess we should also talk about the brilliant John Williams score.
What Johnny does. Again, if it wasn't Schindler, it had to have been this. This had to have been the runner-up. I
think this... Ooh, I don't know what I was going to say. This might be my favorite John Williams.
It's pretty damn good.
I know that he's got, 38, blockbusters to choose from. Don't sleep on the Harry Potter theme, by the way. That's sneaky good. I mean, you've got... we don't even need to list them all, but this one might be my favorite.
It was like... it's back in, I think it was 2014. I took a week off from work, and I went right to the Field Museum, and after that, all I could hear was this in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, if anybody is not from the Chicagoland area...
all the dinosaur skeletons, everything. It was fabulous.
I cannot recommend the Field Museum in Chicago enough. This wide shot with the music and multiple dinosaurs in the background, their reaction, I suddenly feel like I was 13 when I saw this movie. I mean,
I still have a vivid memory of just the theater I was in watching the dinosaurs.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, my jaw was just as wide as these two.
Oh yeah.
What was I getting at? What were we talking about? I don't even know. Sorry.
Johnny Williams.
Yeah, John Williams, sure.
Sound design. I mean, everything they did for all the sounds for all the dinosaurs, all the roars and everything is just incredible. I'd almost imagine this had to win for sound design. I gotta check on that.
Oh, the Field Museum. Yes.
Oh yeah.
When you opened it up, I saw the dinosaur skeleton. Yes. So, please come to Chicago, visit the Field Museum. They have the very famous Sue, which is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know if it's the most... It looks just like that, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is the only T-Rex skeleton, the most complete. I'm not sure, but it's a T-Rex. And they also have now, since you've been there, I guess, I believe what is the world's largest dinosaur.
Okay.
Like in the lobby area. Or the main hall, as it were.
Yeah, the film won Best Sound Effects Editing, Best Sound, and Visual Effects.
Perfect. And if it wasn't for Oskar Schindler and Steven Spielberg, this may have won more.
Yeah.
I don't think it was nominated for Best Picture.
No.
But I do think that there would be an outcry for it to be nominated for Best Picture if it were released today. You know what I mean? Like
that happens with
now we have 10 spots. Back then there were only 5.
Films. I mean, Black Panther got nominated. I never saw it. It just, I don't know.
Well, that was
the other thing.
Black Panther getting nominated was a civil rights issue, not a cinematic achievement issue.
It's the 10 nominees a year thing is
right.
Still contentious.
Oh, I hate it, and I'm an Oscar like.
It just feels like there's a lot of filler there. Just
right. Everyone can thank The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was. I know. The Dark Knight was such a phenomenon, and it didn't get nominated, and everyone said, "Oh, we need to have more fan favorites and blockbusters and whatever."
Whatever.
I love this. Like,
yeah.
Like, this is actual, like, National Geographic, yeah. Great animation there, too. Yeah. Those guys digging down. Like, this is so good. Because, like, it's made for kids, right?
Yeah.
And I was a kid. Dino DNA. They actually, there is a Funko Pop out that exists of this little DNA guy.
Figures.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
I ended up going and seeing the film when it had the 3D re-release.
Okay.
And it obviously had to do the whole post-conversion thing.
Right.
It was all right. But there are certain points, like in this sequence, not in this particular one, but when they're sitting in the gallery and they got all these guardrails in the forefront of the thing. When you're watching in 3D, that thing's sticking right out at you, but it's all out of focus.
Oh.
It's like, well, if they've shot it for 3D, they wouldn't have done that.
Right.
I'm trying to focus on the actor here, but there's a giant bar right in my face here. It looks really ridiculous. But it was also the thing... And I'm noticing it more. There's a really good comparison video between this Blu-ray we're watching and the 3D one, and they completely changed the color grading where it's like all super amber and warm and like really deep blacks and stuff like that. But they show like in order to do the 3D process, one, they had to scrub a lot of the grain from the thing, and also they had to like touch up like hairs around people's heads to kind of make cleaner edges so you don't have little strands of hair anywhere. So they had like Photoshop Jeff Goldblum's hair down because it's all kind of curly and stuff like that. So it was a weird process.
I do feel like this ride is going a little bit fast considering the amount of science happening. Like, I would want to watch for a little bit, you know?
Well... So as Hammond says, like, everything's not quite complete. It's like the beta version of everything.
Right. So let's get it ready to go.
They'll have a few other bells and whistles going on.
That guy's been in every TV show ever.
Yeah, SVU, and they've been bringing him back in the Jurassic World films. Because his character's supposed to be I think he was a bigger character in
the novel.
In the novel. Yeah.
How cool would it be to be like that's the theme of this whole movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
How cool would it be? But to actually get to see This is a velociraptor, I think.
Yeah.
The puppetry and the animatronic here, or whatever they're using.
Yeah.
This right here is worthy of an Oscar.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's where it's like
today, this would just be a computer.
Yeah, it's always the kind of weird thing. It's like, okay, you've got visual effects as an Oscar, but it's like, this isn't a visual effect, but it's still special effects.
Yes.
It's a distinction that really isn't made quite so much on the awards spectrum. I mean, granted, Stan Winston has won a couple of times for some things.
Was he responsible for this?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was the whole thing where, like, they were first trying to work out, like, stop-motion animation stuff. And they did some tests here and there, but then a couple of guys in ILM started dancing around because we already done The Abyss, we've done T2, we've gotten certain length for it, but we haven't really done organic creatures on screen with this stuff yet. And so a couple of them started working on it, and they put together an animatic and showed it to Steven Spielberg, and it's like, well, there it is. That's what we're doing now. And the line Ian Malcolm has a little earlier, or is it? I think it. No, yeah, it was earlier when they were first walking into the entire central area. When they're walking in and they have the skeleton and walking up the thing, like Grant says something about like you're gonna. Our job is going to be obsolete. Then Ian Malcolm says, "Don't you mean extinct?" That's what one of the stop motion guys said. Like basically, now you just made our entire stop motion industry extinct. We no longer have.
It's unbelievable.
Our art form is now dead.
I mean,
still it was. Didn't use stop motion, but they still had these little maquettes and everything they could use and to kind of like program a lot of the motions and movements. Right. So they still had a hand in it, but still. You'd almost not see stop motion on anything after this, and honestly, like what they did with Ed 209 and RoboCop was kind of like the pinnacle of how you could do stop motion stuff and make it look as smooth and realistic.
Possible, yeah.
So once you've finally perfected, about 5 years later, it kind of it's replaced. Love these close-up shots. They're so good.
Well,
they're really focusing on the eyes, the expression so well.
That exposition that he had with the kid, Whit Hertford, bad fucking name, like where he explained how, deadly and nefarious raptors can be.
Cunning.
That again. That reaction shot.
It's like, oh boy.
Like
he's fascinated but also scared to death.
Right.
Just back it up to the table.
This poor cow. Mooing in fear. The subtitle said mooing in fear.
See, that's how you do subtitles, folks.
Oh, I hope you have your subtitles on. God damn it, that was great. How the hell do you know he was mooing in fear? And I love you again. You did not see.
Yeah. Sound design and a little camera trickery.
Right. Let's shake the leaves in front of the camera. That's all you need.
You see Hammond, and he's got that little bit of a thing.
The smirk.
Yeah, it's just like he thinks he's got him hooked in and everything. I love this guy, Bob Peck, as Muldoon.
Muldoon!
Yeah, he passed in '99, but he's great in this thing. I've seen him in a few other things he was really good in, too.
And he's talking about the Raptors.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
he's
the
man in charge of it.
It seems that Sam Neill is, like, kind of obsessed with the Raptors. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, they were mythical to him.
Yeah.
And now they're a reality. And he's struggling to realize, like, I think there's that dichotomy where he doesn't...
Yeah. I mean, it's just the whole thing. It's like, you have to go on his theory. Based on a little bit of, like, evolutionary science and stuff like that, what you can learn from things that seem similar to it based on the biology. And it's like, now you can see how they actually work and prove it. He's proven it. He's telling like that's exactly how they work. The way he was describing it earlier, Peck, Muldoon is telling him exactly that's
right.
How
He
they work.
reinforced the story.
Yeah. But like, you can see Goldblum, he's got that expression. It's like, whoa, this is playing God and doing shit.
Right.
Like, whoa, let's pump the brakes on this.
How do I get one of those Jurassic Park dinner plates?
Man, I imagine how much those would go for.
Right, like the actual props.
They just reissued them. A whole set, I don't know, a couple hundred, maybe $1,000 you could get them for. You could demand it. They'd pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
The whole set. The mug. Everything.
Yeah, that mug is
the
sexy.
The apron and too.
I came this close to buying a Jurassic Park novelty tee at, where was I, Kohl's recently, and I didn't pull the
I
trigger.
might still have one in the freaking closet.
Yeah. I love a novelty tee.
We would have. Trying to think. Probably just got it somewhere at the ball.
Yeah, that's...
And back in like 93, 94. We had a trip to Florida. I keep thinking it's 92. It might have been 93, but it would have been almost too close to this. I don't know. It was like summer of 92 or 93. My parents bought a new car and everything, and one of the things was a free trip to Disney World.
Oh.
But then I kind of insisted we go to Universal Studios, which was not included in the whole thing.
Right.
But
and it's basically next door.
Oh, yeah. It was a bit down the road, but it's all in the same metro area. But we wanted the Back to the Future ride, which took it out of everyone, because all the stuff you wouldn't want. All in hydraulics and stuff moving around and flying through shit. No.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
Wasn't good for you.
So
this is after we did Star Tours, and it said, as long as it's not like that, it's like it ended up being exactly like that.
I guess this is a good time for a segue for I can tell you my Universal story.
Sure.
Where I was in Orlando for WrestleMania in 2008, and what included in our travel package was day passes to Universal. Mm-hmm. And so we go, and I'm notoriously not a ride guy because of my motion sickness issues and equilibrium issues. And so my friends went on all the rides, and I just walked around and took pictures of all the cool stuff while they were on a ride. The sole exception that day was the Jurassic Park ride, the water ride. Now, I knew it was a water ride. I knew that it involved a drop at the end, which I am not keen on, by the way. I don't like being in free fall because I kind of stop breathing usually, which is not good.
No.
And I said, I'm going to be a team player on this one. I got in the little car with my three friends, and it's very idyllic and scenic, and the Williams theme is playing, and there's animatronics, and it's beautiful. And then at the end of the ride, you go into the building, so to speak, and it just chain wrenches you up about 10 stories high. And I am in full panic mode.
Oh boy.
Not because I'm going up, but because I know we have to go back down. We have to go back down on the other side. And when you get to the top of the, I don't know if you've ever been on this ride, when you get to the top of the, the boat wrenches you up, pulls you up to the top, and at the very top, it's literally just a horseshoe. You go around a bend, counterclockwise, and as you go around the corner, there's the T-Rex, and it growls and it looks like it's going to clamp down and bite you. And right as you get to its mouth, the bottom drops out, and you fall down about 9 or 10 stories in your water boat to a big splash at the bottom.
Need the defibrillator paddles.
Yes. So I thought I was going to die. Of course, I neglected to mention that I was in the front row of this boat.
Oh, that's the worst.
My friends thought it was great. And we start dropping, and I'm near crying. I'm gripping the bar. I'm like, oh my God, there's this terror. And then lo and behold, you can buy the photo in the gift shop, which was super. Now, nobody bought the photo, but we saw the photo, and I was so embarrassed by my cowardice that being, immortalized on film that, So I had a really bad experience at the Jurassic Park ride. Wow. See, that was me when I was a kid. I loved dinosaurs so much. He, doesn't want to talk to this kid.
No, he doesn't.
Look at this body language.
Bit. And he's dressed just like him.
With the little
the hat.
ascot and everything.
Yeah.
Or bandana. Tim. What a dick! Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
How could you just be that mean to a kid? Really. The first one, Whit Hertford, you could tell that he was just being
a bit of a dick.
Yeah, a little bit, but not. He was being educational and just being over the top.
Well, the kid was being a snarky fucker anyway.
Right.
There we go.
Look at him smoking. Everybody smoked.
Sam Jackson, baby. Mr. Spielberg knew what was going on, man.
Are these cars on? They're on some kind of a track, right?
Magnetic track. So it's all supposed to be
self-propelled or whatever. Kind of like those old die-cast toys, when you had built the racetrack and they were on the. This is what the entrance to the water park looked like.
Oh yeah. I keep debating back and forth about the shirt I got, because it said Raptor Cafe on it, so I'm not.
Oh,
we might have got it at Universal. It might have been.
Maybe you bought it at Universal.
Maybe we went It would have been a month after this came out. It was.
So, am I correctly understanding? I was telling my story that they are doing basically a test run of what it would be like if you visited the park.
Yeah, because he wants the endorsement of all these people, because they're all respected people.
Right,
and
sure.
Brett and Sadler are very respected, and then Malcolm's kind of the... If you can get kind of the cynical naysayer on your side, then that helps as well. So you got both ends of things.
This would be my fear. How many times have you gone to the zoo?
Right.
And
they're all taking a nap.
Right. You want to see the lion.
Yeah.
And the lion is in having lunch. Or he's nowhere to be found.
Right.
Or the elephants have been taken away for, dietary, whatever. And you're like...
Get hosed down or something.
Yeah, and you're so disappointed.
Yeah.
Can you imagine paying thousands of dollars per ticket?
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Newman. What's he drinking? Joy? Is that Joe? What is that? What is this soda he's got?
My desk has looked like that for a time or two.
Yep. Dennis.
Dennis Nedry.
Oh, it's Jolt.
Jolt?
Jolt Cola. It was like a super caffeinated. I don't even know if they make it anymore. This was a very popular thing in the 90s. Jolt Cola. Yeah, super high caffeine count. So almost like a 5-hour energy, but not, but in a sugary soda form.
Gotcha.
Yes, Jolt Cola. Got it.
Look at this photography. Just the scenery does so much for you.
Dean Cundy is always known exactly when to do a sweeping epic wide shot or a super dramatic close-up. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, Spielberg had a lot to say about things.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's worked with so many really good directors who got very...
Specific,
know the type of visuals they want.
I like that a lot of this is set up from the consumer point of view.
Yeah.
So that you're kind of experiencing it with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they both turn.
Yeah. And Gret's got the smile on his face. Like...
So good.
I was going to say, Martin Ferrero there playing the lawyer. He was a recurring role in Miami Vice, but man brought him back. He's the guy at the beginning of He Who Sells Val Kilmer all of the supplies for the opening heist.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's got these Coke bottle glasses and everything.
Yeah.
But
did those kids grow up to be anybody? Do anything?
I don't know. They show up in Lost World for a hot second. I don't know if they... I thought there was rumblings they were bringing him back for one of the other ones, but I don't know. I didn't know. I hadn't seen him in any of the trailers.
Cute goat. I like goats.
Amanda Wiss.
Oh boy.
Run around in the boiler room. You always forget about the goat hat.
Yeah.
It's here and there, but goats are a little creepy.
A little bit, yeah. You ever eaten goat?
No.
Oh. I had it in an Indian restaurant a couple of times.
He's such a fucking...
He's awesome.
He's so great, but Melker just like, he's such an insufferable guy for Hammond. I mean, this is such like perfect Goldblum snapshot character.
Yes, yeah.
He's got all the quirks, all the little things he can play. He's got great chemistry with everyone. He's got all the great philosophical and sarcasm and stuff like that. And great hair, man. I like the hair.
Oh yeah, he does have
He's got
great hair.
the great package again.
And she looks great too.
Oh yeah, she's glowing like hell. Again, like you said, like costume design, character, distinctive character designs and everything.
Right, and I don't think costumes get enough credit for helping you know who a character is.
Yeah. And the makeup and hairstyling too.
Yeah. He's just using this as an excuse to touch her.
Oh yeah. It's a little sweet on her. I think you can tell that her and Grant got something going on. He just wants to kind of, maybe not so much stir the pot, but kind of like poke him, rib him here and there. Like,
that's a great line about.
You don't want to take up on this. That's fine. I'll step in.
I love that he's continuing the conversation. Look at the trash on the floor there
yeah.
by... Barbasol. It's about the one thing I can still sing.
Lower octaves are better.
Right. I can't go up high.
She won't give us a hand.
He stopped because they saw a vehicle out there? Is that what...
Yeah, the Jeep was out there.
What a great shot this is.
Oh, yeah, just from the kids' perspective, more or less.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's Stan Winston all over the place, man.
I'm sure now that it's been, almost 30 years, that folks have probably seen, there's a very famous photograph, a behind-the-scenes photograph of Steven Spielberg and this Triceratops animatronic. And I know that there was a thing going around for a while where some younger folks thought that, like, they didn't recognize who he was or what this was, and thought that it was some sort of, like, person hunting animals, and got angry about it. Yeah. And we're like, no, that's just from one of the highest grossing movies of all time.
Yes.
Sorry. At this point, speaking of highest grossing, at this point, E.T. would have been number one, and Jurassic Park...
Well, it's so back and forth between E.T. and Star Wars, depending on how many times they re-release in the theaters to grab more box office money.
Yeah, but I don't think Star Wars was re-released until 96, right?
Well, they would...
Not an official re-release, but...
Well, every so often, before the home video market took off, they would constantly, like, every couple of years, they'd put it back out. It's like, even after Return of the Jedi came out, I was like, now you can, like, 6 months later, now you can go watch all three of them in the theater, so it's still grabbing more money a few years after the fact and stuff like that, but, yeah, more or less, George and Stephen are just trading it back and forth. Right. Pot of money.
Yeah, because Jaws was the number one highest grossing until E.T. came along. And then, honestly, I want to say E.T. remained at number one all the way until Titanic, if my memory serves.
Maybe, I'm not sure. Because they did have the 97 special edition re-release, which grossed like a couple $100 million for the whole trilogy. I don't know specifically for the first Star Wars.
Right. But I don't even think...
But this grossed $1 billion.
Worldwide.
That's what it says on Wikipedia now after it's had...
I was talking about...
And Ferrero thing, so it might have been just short of that in the original run.
Yeah, I was thinking just the domestic is what they consider.
Domestically, probably.
I feel like Star Wars wasn't really in the running.
Too much for me to research now.
Right, yeah, that's not a right now research. Yeah. But I was very heavily involved in this list around the time... Well, one time, because I worked in the theater for Titanic.
Yeah.
And I also worked in the theater for The Dark Knight. And there was we were kind of week by week watching it climb and thinking that it might eclipse somewhere, like it might take over a spot.
Sure.
Now, at the time, Titanic was number one with a bullet. It made $600 million domestic. And I know that it did not get eclipsed until Avatar came along and Cameron outdid Cameron. Yes. I feel like that wasn't real typing. And she is not a doctor, right? She's a
paleobotanist. So
okay.
They found out the thing is sick, and that thing is from some plant it might have eaten around here that was poisonous.
Got it.
But she can't find any evidence in the droppings.
I love just the art direction of his mess.
I'm trying to look at the computer monitors too. We got Max going on.
What do you think that jacket would go for in the aftermarket?
Well, if you said Samuel Jackson,
right,
damn straight it would go for a good bit on an auction.
What an annoying bastard.
He's sweating like Sean Kramer with the butter shave.
Yeah. Sweating like Keith Hernandez was coming after him.
Pretty hot under these lights, Seinfeld. That was great. Seinfeld didn't do anything with this. They probably didn't find any way to adapt this to anything in the series. But like every so often, he would be in again JFK or a little bit in Basic Instinct, where like he's in the big blockbuster. Now we're going to do something to spoof it. He was like 100% into it.
Yeah. You get the feeling that Neill just doesn't like anybody.
He's a little crusty.
Yeah, he's put off by everything. Great close-ups.
Mm-hmm.
As he continues to work his heater there. Where in the world does that apparatus exist? Like, it's so futuristic and over the top.
Yeah.
At this point, we've still never seen the T-Rex.
Right.
Although it's coming up. I was going to say maybe T-Rex at the midpoint.
It is.
But I don't know. We might be a little late. No?
No, the film runs 2 hours 6 minutes. So
okay, so like
we got another 5 minutes up.
About an hour 3.
Thereabout.
That would be a great midpoint.
It's the perfect one because that's when everything goes to hell in the park.
Right, like
you pivot from the awe and wonder of the adventure, then you go into the horror.
The peril,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's a little Star Trekky with the computer bank and everything over there. The mainframe.
Yeah.
It's random blinking lights. That means things are happening. You don't have to deal with it.
Right. I would argue that the yellow raincoat has really only been made famous by 2 or 3 characters in cinematic history. And this is one of them.
It's flashing on old Corey Feldman at the beginning of New Beginning.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't include
I'm saying
that.
That's it,
but yes.
Him in the rain and all this type of stuff and the glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, and then of course you got little Georgie in It.
Yes. That would be it.
There's another bottle of Jolt Cola, like an actual bottle.
I don't know who the photograph is.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't catch it. I saw it, but I didn't place him.
No.
What is his purpose for opening?
He's trying to get to the dock so he can get off the island with the smuggling.
Got it. I was like, clearly he's not just being nefarious and opening gates for the sake of opening gates.
Because the guy at the dock said, I can't hold it any longer than I
Right,
said.
20 minutes or whatever,
he's
yeah.
like, I don't know if I can get there in time. That's why he's driving like this.
I love that he, like, finger wiped his glasses, like... This is great, he doesn't know which way's which.
Fuck.
Permission denied. You didn't say the magic word, it says over and over again.
Dressed as Elvis. All these shots, just like you'd see how everything... You start real close with all the insert shots, and you start pulling back a little bit of the timing, and just like it's a very well constructed visual scene.
Every time they get out of the cars, something bad happens.
He's probably scared.
Right. Great line.
Yeah. Again, I'm sure those would go for a
Pretty penny, yeah.
There's got to be someone out there with like a giant freaking gallery of just like Jurassic Park props and merchandise and everything.
I hope so.
The whole freaking place.
I hope so. I keep thinking about that line when Malcolm says, "Are the kids okay?" He goes, "I didn't ask." Like, that's such a me thing. Like,
well, yeah. Oh, it's also the thing is like, well, he doesn't connect with kids and stuff like that, so it doesn't pass his mind. He's thinking more like Ellie and like stuff like that, and like.
This is a pretty iconic shot.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, I think the story was Spielberg. I think he just had like a coffee or something like that while he was driving, and he had Earth, Wind, and Fire going on the stereo, and just noticed the little ripples and everything. So, I think they did with like a piano wire strung underneath.
Oh, okay.
The car to make it happen.
No more goat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing it's not at the Indian restaurant like where I had it.
That's good.
There's the goat.
Uh-huh.
And almost exactly
on the money.
Almost to the minute. We have been revealed.
There we go.
The T-Rex.
Holy shit.
Unbelievable.
Ooh.
I mean, the T-Rex showed up at 103.
Oh.
I mean, to the minute.
Yeah.
Midpoint. Ooh, baby. Hey, baby.
You gotta go. They haven't seen it yet. They cost shit.
Oh, yeah, because it's up by their car.
Oh, yeah.
And the rain is a good a nice little addition, right? Because you can't
Obscures
see
everything,
right. Oh boy!
Oof.
Hello.
Just, I mean, you can't imagine if you weren't there in '93 to see this. I mean, you just have no idea the impact. Oh,
That is unbelievable. Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
it's just amazing how well the two things blend.
The CGI
And
and
the
the
Stan Winston practical.
it's near flawless.
Yeah.
Sorry that we're just kind of laying out here. We're both still amazed. It's been almost 30 years, and it takes your breath away. What a great acting, like reacting.
Yeah. And even get the iris going in and out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Acting is reacting.
Oh,
Here
yeah.
is why this is scary.
Yeah.
Because of her, not because of the dinosaur.
And a little bit of that, too. Just... Yeah. I mean, I have the regular Laserdisc, but anyone who had the DTS version, that was like ear-bleeding sound, man.
That's awesome.
They did a lot of those mixes like real hot back then.
I like a hot mix. That is so scary. Look at those teeth. Oh my god. I can't even imagine.
Well, the eye, man. The eye works so well.
This is... I'm telling you, like you said, if you weren't there
Yeah.
in 93, I love him puncturing the tires. This, oh god, it's just, it's perfect.
Ugh.
This is a near perfect movie. Steven Spielberg is good at that, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Fuck, man.
I love this.
He runs out there. He's not quite ready for that. Have it stare him right the hell down. Good thing he's in the crapper.
With his pants down. Like he's actually going to the bathroom.
I think he's just got shorts on. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It looked like I got the pinstripe of his shirt mixed up with the boxers.
This blends right from the practical right into the digital, and you can't tell a goddamn difference.
Look at that! Look at that! Unbelievable.
I mean, I said for so long, because we ended up eventually having like a string of like, you're using so much CGI and it all looks bad.
Right.
And I was just like, how does Jurassic Park still look so good after all these years, and all these other films made in the last couple of years look like crap? Well, because because it was a burgeoning technology, they started so far ahead.
Look at that! Oh my god!
Into production, they probably shot a lot of the visual effects stuff early enough so they had the maximum amount of time to work on every single shot to get the best quality out of it by the time the film needed to be finished.
This animatronic is out of control.
And the fact that Spielberg knew, like, yeah, Stan Winston's the guy. He's seen the James Cameron films for sure. It's like, yeah, this is the guy we need. He always knows the right guy to get for every little thing.
Is Timmy still in the car?
He is, yeah. Because he got to climb back up and coach him down later. Again, the car's not practical either.
You don't think that was a real car?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it looked like it.
Yeah. And the fact that, I mean, both the thing. One, the fact that they're shooting it and they have all the rain there. So that's a difficult thing to kind of composite an effect into, but also
right.
It helps to also further obscure anything. If anything's
weird, yeah.
a little off or whatnot, it will still cloud the frame a little bit to kind of hide imperfections. I really like Laura Dern's character here. She's not written like a afterthought or anything like that. She's as assertive as anyone else. And she even takes a stand against Hammond in certain places. Like, I think it's a little later on in the film where I think she's going to go hit the breakers or whatnot, and he's being a little kind of passive about like, oh, don't want you to be in danger, stuff like that, and she's a lot more like, I can handle this shit,
right,
no problem.
Yeah, she's not a damsel in distress
No.
in this movie, which has long since been
Passé.
right. Good plan, Newman.
Oh.
Oh. He's like the perfect mixture of bumbling idiot and master criminal.
Yeah.
Or, I guess even better, he's a bumbling idiot who thinks he's a master criminal.
Yeah.
That
works better.
That is such a... Right.
Like, you almost got away with it.
Who's that little guy?
You're just a little too stupid to get away with it entirely.
Yeah.
And it's a nice little thing, because when they're doing the tour, they go past this paddock where they said all the Dilophosaurus, I think it is, like, it sprays its victims with a venom or acid or something like that.
Right.
So these subtle little things that you don't really need to pick up on, but they do set it up there to make sure that they have it there.
I mean, it's similar in nature to that Sam Neill exposition about the raptor theory, their hunting theory, which comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean, even this is a great animatronic.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
He's a big fat guy that looks like he's delicious.
Yeah. Mmm. Get a few meals out of that.
How were his pants only wet on one leg? He went down the river there.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. So good. I mean, that's terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you thought that the T-Rex was bad.
Yeah.
Oh, he hit his head.
And there it goes.
There goes the Barbasol. Literally 2 notes. And it's a jingle history.
Holy Christ.
Oh my
God. That's a
God.
nightmare right there.
So good. I remember being in the theater and being scared.
Oh, yeah.
Not so much of the T-Rex, but more of that.
And definitely the Raptors later on.
Right, the Raptors, yeah, but that guy, I mean, with that
Oh, yeah, that's straight
cowl
up a nightmare,
thing,
like
yeah.
I said.
The cowl and the,
The rattlesnake.
being in the car with it,
yeah.
like the confined space.
Yeah.
This girl is a great actor.
Oh, yeah.
Can we just throw that out there?
Yeah.
How did the kids survive that drop?
Seatbelt? Maybe?
Yeah, he definitely wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
I don't know.
He was under that plexiglass with his sister
Yeah.
for a while,
Yeah.
and then
I don't know.
got squished when the car flipped upside down, and then went ass over tea kettle down the.
I don't know.
He went over the cliff like me in the Jurassic Park ride in 2008.
Yes.
That's exactly what it felt like being in that vehicle. It felt like the car was vertical. I know it wasn't, but that's what it felt like. Scared the piss out of me. I've since gotten a little better about, like, water rides and whatever that are
Sure.
that have drops in them. Also, I have become a huge fan of Dramamine.
Okay.
It works wonders for my motion sickness. I don't know if maybe that also psychologically helps with the free-falling, like,
Sure.
panic. But it does, so...
I threw it. Uh-oh. Which would you rather do? Throw up or
Die?
cream yourself?
This is, this is, the first time, the entire movie, that Neill has been good to this kid.
Yeah, he's been very reassuring.
Yeah, me too. Time is of the essence, son.
Yeah. And it creates a nice little added tension sequence. You don't need as much as you just had a few minutes ago, but just like it keeps the peril going. You're still going to hit pitfalls.
Well, yeah, because you need a little bit of a let me up,
Yeah.
but you don't want to let the audience up so much.
You don't want to relax them too much.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
You need a little undercurrent.
It needs to, like, you're good if you, like, whammy them in the middle.
Right.
But if you bring it all the way back, it's not as effective when you come back up again, I think.
Right.
Because they already had one.
Right.
So it's almost like, ooh, great. It's almost like in a roller coaster. You've got the big drop to start off,
Yeah.
which is like the beginning of the peril.
Yeah. They got a couple spins here and
Right,
there.
and
And a few
dips
little,
up and down and whatever.
Yeah.
And by the time the end comes, you're like spent.
Yeah. If you had 10 of those drops in a row, you'd be dead. Your heart would explode.
Right, exactly. You
You
don't
don't want to exhaust the audience.
Right.
Like I said, you want to keep that tension alive.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if you went up the roller coaster and then you come down the big drop, and as you come around the corner at the bottom, the ride's over.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's like the Jurassic Park ride. You come down and it's over. But
it's nice. They get the T-Rex roaring in the background, and they're in a hurry to find everyone because it's all in a mess.
Here's the fly laid out on the ground. Nobody knows what... He's got his chest hair hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
That feels like a Goldblum call, not a Spielberg call. Like,
oh, you can tell he's in some hot shape in this movie. When he was running around earlier with the flare, he's super, just really well put together. You probably knew, like, there's going to be a little heavy on the action. I get toned up a little bit.
Right,
here.
right. I wonder how much Ford paid for having their Explorers, yeah.
Mm.
Or maybe not at all, and it was accidental advertising.
I'm sure, because look at the marketing this film had, the merchandising, all that type of stuff.
I'm going to briefly look up Jolt Cola.
Huh.
I want to see if it was made by...
There we go again.
Look at that.
Yeah, so good. And hit the little vibrations again. And he's like, oh, shit. This is a good Dean Cunty shot. A little kind of a jib shot going up into him.
I love his narrative, his narration.
His internal narration, yeah. It's like, oh boy, here she is again.
And here we have one of the more iconic scenes.
Oh, yeah. Nice, the side view mirror bit.
Right, of it. Yeah. Well, there's the tension of it chasing, and like, is he even going to make it? And the objects in rearview mirror, or objects in mirror,
are closer than they appear.
That is an all-time...
That's a nice, clever bit.
It's an all-time gag.
Yeah.
All-time. Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fucking Christ.
This is the first time she's seen it.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. There we go. No. He's got all the best lines, man. You gotta have a guy like that in a movie.
I feel like that's a line I would say.
Oh, yeah. I like the line later on about the Pirates of the Caribbean breakdown. The pirates don't start killing the tourists. Oh. Yeah, this was I guess David Koepp, who did the screenplay, the adaptation, I imagine he was writing stuff before this, but this was definitely the thing that put him on the map for the next several years. Just like, not everything he would work on was always great, but it's like he always maintained a notoriety about himself.
This is a great tree.
Yeah, this one's definitely a soundstage, I think. This is probably constructed for the film.
Right, but I mean, look at how great they did.
Yeah. Still trying to maintain a little bit of that tropical vegetation style.
Right. And we do have to have this kind of moment of relief, right? Like,
we gotta let the characters breathe for a little bit.
Well, what's great is they actually took this group of characters that was in super peril and is allowing them to breathe while the action is shifted to the other group of characters.
And still allowing the film to, like, there is still a wonder here for these characters. There's still an awe to everything that's happening.
Well, sure there would be. Why? I mean, how could there not be?
Yeah. So it's like it's not forgetting that aspect of the first half of the film.
And look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Raptor Claw?
Yeah.
What a great line to say while
Oh,
he's
yeah.
holding the kids.
Yeah.
This is very well written.
And holding the fossil, too.
That's good. I don't know who wrote that, but that's good. That's a dad joke if there ever
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very symbolic, right?
Mm-hmm. Here's everything you can buy after
Oh,
you
the
leave
store.
all
God,
the
I
stuff
love a gift shop.
All the stuff you get to buy after you leave the theater.
God, I love a gift shop. Look at it all. Oh my God. And he's eating at the Jurassic Cafe or whatever the hell. It's like Rainforest Cafe, only not as kitschy.
Yeah.
Those chairs are awesome, though. The bamboo
Oh,
or whatever
yeah.
they are. I really like those chairs.
Nice soft cushion.
Ice cream. This is right up my alley right here. This guy, a man after my own heart. No power. Let's eat the ice cream. 100%.
And also, the fridge is offline, so why let it spoil?
Right, that's what I'm saying. You can keep that big gallon of chocolate, though. That's not for me.
That's going to be a little much.
I'll take the vanilla for sure. Don't sleep on a plain vanilla bean ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it doesn't need. Stuff in it is good, but it doesn't need it. Good vanilla ice cream is hard to beat.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, why did he bring out 6 containers?
Oh, wow.
Granted, they're all going to go bad.
Oh.
This is the moment of
Oh, yeah. Self-reflection.
deflation, maybe,
Yeah.
or something.
So
where
defeat.
Yeah, he realizes that all is lost.
Yeah. He had the warmest aspirations all glossed over, and just like one little thing goes wrong, and it's all disaster.
It's actually, I don't know, when you really break down his character, it's kind of cool. Like, he's so kind of blinded by the idea, the notion of
The idealism,
possibility and idealism, that like any little thing is like, oh well, that doesn't really matter because it's going to be so good.
Yeah.
And
But even then, it's like he's still saying like, "Oh, next time it'll work." He's trapped in this vicious cycle.
right. It's a great character.
I can just keep improving it. I can get it there. And it's like,
right. It's almost like the degenerate gambler.
A little bit.
Who says, just give me one more hand of blackjack.
Right.
I can win the next one.
Yeah, I can make it all right. I can win it all back.
Right.
You just look at the human cost.
Look at her beautiful blue eyes.
Oh yeah, she's wonderful.
He also has blue eyes.
I mean, she's been up for a couple of awards here and there, I believe.
I know her dad has.
Hmm.
Her dad killed John Wayne. I still haven't forgiven him.
Oh, was that the film they shot near the freaking nuclear test site or something?
No.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Oh, in the Cowboys.
Oh, something about that?
In the 50s, yeah.
No. So John Wayne died of cancer, and there was some film where they shot near where they blew up the frickin' bombs in the desert.
Oh, yeah. John Wayne died of cancer in The Shootist with Ronnie Howard. That was 1978, 79, somewhere in there. John Wayne's only died in 4 movies.
Okay.
One of them was The Shootist. One of them was The Alamo, because everybody died at The Alamo.
Oh, sure.
One of them was a movie called The Cowboys, and it featured him and a bunch of little kids.
Okay.
And the person who shot John Wayne and killed him in that movie was Bruce Dern, but the actor was Bruce Dern, which is Laura Dern's father. And yeah, so I still have heat with Bruce Dern, even though he's...
Well, that's unfortunate, because Bruce Dern's wonderful.
He is wonderful. He is wonderful. It's one of those things, you're like, ah. Yeah, Bruce Dern has done some great things.
Ah, there we go. Hope you got sneezed on by a dinosaur. I'll look like John McClane now. All brown.
Laura Dern was actually coming off of an Academy Award nomination in this movie. In 1992, she was nominated for a movie called Rambling Rose. I never saw that one.
Not familiar.
In 2015, she was nominated for supporting actress for a movie called Wild. And
I think that was the Reese Witherspoon film?
Yeah, I think so. And then in 2020, she actually won, if you recall, the Oscar for supporting actress for Marriage Story.
Okay.
With Adam Driver and
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett, yeah. And she won Best Supporting Actress for that. So, shout out to Laura Dern. Not that she's listening, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure. This is another, I guess I would say, pivotal scene in the whole thing, showing that what Malcolm said, life finds a way. It's like
Right.
You can't control nature like you're God. It's all gonna...
It's going to evolve.
It's gonna adapt and everything.
I love it. Look at those little...
Wonderful eyes again. Just like this film's...
Here's the famous scene, right?
Sizzling chests.
The sizzling chest, the side...
Yeah.
The side lean.
The boudoir.
Yeah.
Posture.
That's his Funko Pop right there.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
I love it.
I was going to say, it's like... Obviously, this turns into a franchise and stuff like that. It's like... Kind of thing... All these... At least all the ones I saw, which is just the second and third, which is like... You lose that philosophical... perspective on the whole thing. They have something to say about the entire story here. Say about nature finds a way and all these different things. It's like there's a perspective and a stance for the characters to take a philosophical angle on what's going on here. The rest of it is just
action for action's sake.
Action and spectacle. It loses the heart the film has. And this thing is like Sam Jackson's like, yeah, Spielberg wants me. I'm gonna work with Richard Attenborough.
Right.
It's like no one even knows who he is yet, and he's already working with the A-list.
Well, he'd been around for about 5 years at this point.
Right, but he's not the name yet.
Well, Pulp Fiction was
94.
94.
A year and a half
so he
after
filmed
this.
that right after this, probably.
Yeah. But just like right before people started like, yeah, now we know this guy. We've seen him around, but now we know who he is.
Right. He was like 35 or something when he got cast. His very first speaking role ever was in Coming to America in 1988. And he was already like 35 then. Mm-hmm. So he was way late to the game. He's the Diamond Dallas Page of actors.
Yeah, that's great.
Although he's achieved far more, I think, than Page ever did.
Well, yeah, I mean, though, like He already had the solid track record. He even shows up in True Romance for a few minutes there. He's working with Tony Scott and Gary Oldman.
Right, Tarantino.
Yeah. Tarantino script, so then turns around and launches from there. Yeah, like I said,
here we go.
They all been
Holy shit.
They all been crawling through the air ducts, which they will be doing later on.
Right.
Yeah, look at this mountain in the back.
Metasauruses is so good. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Guess that means they're avoiding a predator. Here's another great iconic scene.
Yeah. And obviously, here they're acting against nothing, but they have to match all the eye lines.
Right.
And there was like behind-the-scenes stuff where they just like mapped in where the eyesights were going, and here and there as they turned their heads. It's really just astounding.
And somebody's like shaking this big fake tree.
Yeah.
Again, the seamless transition, because all of that's CGI.
Yeah.
But dare I say, this CGI looks better than the CGI of today.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, again, the lot of thing is like today is like a lot of the big films. Like, there's so much of it. There's so much digital effects, and the thing is like, again, if you don't give them enough time, then it's not going to look as good as it could. And if they're piling in, I don't know, 3,000 effect shots, like you only can devote so much time to each shot.
It just looks so fake today.
A lot of it does.
I mean, I know that like with computers we can do so much more, but you know what? Less is more.
And again, the fact that they also have the use of some of the practical animatronics
here we go.
that kind of blend in here. Yeah.
But I guess the point of that is that, Hammond was saying, like, let me show you examples of other things that didn't work at the beginning, and we're going to eventually.
Yeah, he's still trying to rationalize everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's like, just a little problem. It's like, no, it's not a little problem. It's all out of control. You couldn't control it. He tried to tell you from the beginning. Yeah.
Old school walkie-talkies.
Yeah, this little... She's got no time for chivalry.
Right. She's like, screw you and your chauvinistic...
Yeah, let the guy with the limp go for it.
Right. These shorts are out of control.
Yeah. Look at them thighs he's got, man. He's built.
Must have been leg day. He's got that Australian hat on, too. I like it.
Yeah. He's got an accent of some kind. He might just be British. I'm not sure. Not Peck.
Oh, that's got to be British. Peck.
Oh, yeah, Yorkshire.
Peck is such a British name.
Leeds, England.
Oh, Leeds. It's where Davy Boy Smith was from.
Yeah. I love this whole sequence. It looks fabulous.
The sweat on him is so good. Camera
movement here, all that.
I do like the low camera angles.
Oh, yeah.
I know we gave old, what's his nuts? Danny Pearl a hard time for his, low creeping shots in Chainsaw and others.
Yeah.
But it is effective.
Oh, yeah.
John Williams' score right there, just
yeah.
in that 15 seconds, was tremendous.
Mm.
Now, she was already halfway down the staircase when he said go down the staircase.
Yeah.
That's a little thing that I think is awesome because it's one of all too often they would have had him like be in sync.
Yeah.
Almost like he could see what she's doing and telling her the next step. But he can't because he's not there.
Yeah.
So the fact that he gave her a step that she was already in the middle of completing
Yeah.
makes it real. I love that. I know that's something stupid and something little, but that is something that's subconscious that makes the viewer, I don't know, make it seem real.
Mm-hmm.
How would you know by throwing the stick at it?
Yeah.
That is awesome! So good. That was great, he says. I love it. No, you can't do that. Both of these kids are awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Love these kids.
I mean,
I haven't seen this in a minute.
There's really no one better than Spielberg to find young talent.
Agreed. Maybe Wes Craven, but
Wes is very good.
You know who is not? Whoever directed Nightmare 5 and cast Whit Hertford. And what a great little tension spot this is.
Oh, yeah.
They're
scaling.
casually scaling the electric fence, and she's about to turn the power back on.
Oh, yeah, it's perfect. Wonderful move here. Look at that.
I don't even know how they did that. Awesome that they, like, she's there, so they need them to, there's more steps just to add a little bit more time, you know? Oh, yeah. Good job. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You gotta jump, kid. Why would you go to red? Like, they were green before. Why wouldn't you start at green? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you start at red and push them to green?
Maybe red's like, oh, danger. It's active.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it makes more sense that green means on and red means off.
Oh.
Poor kid.
Oh.
And how great is it that you think, like, in the nick of the time, he's going to get off, but they don't. They electrocute the kid.
Yeah. And here we go. Oh.
Hello.
Fuck. That got everyone in 93,
You-
man.
it got me just now.
Fucking hell.
And this is the first time we've seen the...
And it's a good jump scare because you've earned it at this point.
Right.
You can throw one in there and just get a little something extra out of it.
Right, we've been calm for way too long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go.
That's terrifying if you're 13 or younger. Yeah, this is the first time we've seen the raptors. Horace Pinker there.
After electrocuted someone. There you go.
That's right, no more Mr. Nice Guy.
Look at this lighting, man.
It's beautiful.
He's painting with it, baby.
Cundy. Well, Spielberg too, though. Spielberg is very
Sure.
specific.
Yeah.
But,
You got to have the artist to paint it.
right, there aren't a lot of people that can say, oh, whatever you want, Mr. Spielberg, and make it happen.
Oh, yeah.
More blue eyes. I wonder if this is a specific thing. Like, we only cast people with blue eyes because it's more dramatic. I guess I'm in good shape because, spoiler alert, I have blue eyes.
Oh, look at this.
Look at it. They flank. Remember? At the
Yeah.
beginning? Remember? He told you.
Exactly.
He told you. They come from the side. And maybe these animatronics look a little, I don't know, B- today. But in 93, it was A+.
The fact that nobody uses them anymore.
Well, right,
almost.
right. Nobody does. Instead, we're going to pay 700 people to make a CGI one.
That's why the credits are 20 minutes long.
Not in my movie. If I make one, I'm hiring 2 guys. Tony Caesar's one of them. I don't know who the other one is, but Tony Caesar's one of them.
Kevin Yeager, man.
There you go. Yeager and Caesar. He put all the ice cream back in the freezer? Poor kid. His ear looks like mine did after I ruptured in 95.
Nice mural, too. Production design's doing a good job.
I love the wonky walk. So good.
all that.
Heck yeah, dude. Dig in. Not much of a green Jello. I'm not much of a Jello fan in general, but
Jell's going to have a bit of a moment here.
Jello gets a close-up.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, again, what makes it even better is the girl, right?
Oh, yeah, she's so good.
I think this is a very iconic scene.
Oh, yeah.
When I think of these big industrial kitchens like this, I think of this movie and I think of The Shining. And that's it. So good! This kid could have easily got nominated for an Oscar. Either one of them.
Yeah.
I think her more than him, but... And the next scene is one opening a door. So good. I wish people still made robots, animatronics, whatever you call them. A practical effect. Visual, whatever. I mean, that looks real. It looks real.
And this is right back into the digital.
And you can't tell the difference. I mean, upon close inspection, you can, but...
But the thing got a proper remaster and got all the black levels and all that type of stuff done right. It's like, I can see it looking even better.
Did you say that there is a 4K release of this?
Right, like I said, it's from like an older master, so like they didn't do a fresh scan to make it look the best it could. So it's a little underwhelming.
I mean, it's only...
It's not bad, but I'm not running out there to pay $20 for it.
It's not even 30 years old yet as we record this. You feel like there's got to be a printer laying around that they could scan.
They can grab the original negative. Apparently, just didn't bother.
Right, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's got to be in.
Because I think they did a newer scan when they did the 3D one, but obviously, like I said, they did so much manipulation with the image on it.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, I don't know. Hopefully, on the 30th, they'll wise up.
Yeah. So, hopefully they do a 30th anniversary 4K
Yeah.
new scan. From the original negative would be...
Yes.
The tension in this scene. Look at this. Tell me that little girl is not a better actor than a lot of people.
Yeah. It's a great gag.
That almost didn't look like the same kid. Hopping along. Oh yeah, look at that, so good. Everything is good. Sorry, I keep saying how good it looks, but what are they in the freezer?
Just threw it in there, yeah.
Oh, it's in the freezer.
Yeah.
I thought they were in the freezer. The little snorting. And everybody else that was working there, like, left the island on the boat,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, okay.
Aw, shit.
And really, everything would have been fine had Neill not gotten out of the truck that first time, right? Because when they all got out to go investigate the Jeep in the wild,
All separate out.
they got out of the ride, and then Hammond had to shut down everything because they got out of the vehicle as opposed to just continuing the tour.
Well, they shut it down, but then they got back in everything to continue the tour, and then Nedry sabotaged everything so he could get off the island and get past all the security checkpoints.
Got it.
I don't know where they found this weird-ass computer graphics system. Never seen anything else like this.
But I'm sure they just made it up, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It looks very state-of-the-art. I mean... Again, it's the girl that figured it out.
Yeah.
I like that.
Which I think was a flip around from the novel. I think it was the other way around. I think they were characterized differently in the novel. Neill looks so good in these close-ups, man. He's just got something to him. And
yeah, there's an intensity that...
The intensity, the eyes, the little bit of the smile here and there or something like that. Just
Hammond has blue eyes. Does Goldblum have blue eyes?
That's what I'm trying to wonder. I don't know if we're going to get another shot of him that close up.
That's fun. Oh, they are going to roll around in the ducks, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they already changed their shirts, like John McClane.
And this is interesting because this was obviously a stunt woman, and when she accidentally looks up, they had to map the other actress's face onto the stunt double.
That makes sense. But they did a great job. Mm-hmm. You couldn't tell that it was a stunt double.
No.
I love that the sunlight.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very... Like, the atmosphere, the visual atmosphere is very calming and...
Yeah.
Hopeful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, just like we're getting closer to escape, but we're still in the thick of danger.
The kid that's got a bad leg.
Yeah.
Make him jump first. That's fun. Nearly impaled, but not quite. I can't get over these animatronics. It's perfect. Look at that. Flanked.
Yeah.
Left and right. How did the one get out of the freezer?
I don't know how many they had originally.
Oh, saved by the T-Rex. Hot damn.
Because they're realizing partway through production, it's like, man, the T-Rex has become kind of a, I don't know, almost like an anti-hero in the film.
Yeah. Right,
and so it's like we gotta use it one more time. We can't just have it like the middle thing and the little beat in the field. You gotta bring them back one more time.
Well, there's also the idea that he was the danger for the entire movie.
Yeah.
And now he's the savior.
Almost like reasserting, like, I am the king here.
Right.
You see
Is this the banner falling?
You see all they incorporate all the scratches and bites on the torso there. Wonderful.
I wish I had a lot of money. I'd get a Jeep Wrangler and paint it.
Paint it up.
Custom paint it, yeah. And here he's like looking over the charred remains of his dream.
Yeah.
And thinking, now we know that he's thinking grandiose thoughts, not defeat.
It's just bittersweet.
There is like the crux of it all, like the possibility. He's holding the possibility in his hand, literally.
Yeah. I think Goldblum's got brown eyes.
Here's another beautiful rear projection.
Oh, yeah.
That you can't even tell.
No.
Meanwhile, he's holding the kids like
Yeah.
this is 24 hours now. He's been.
Well, they don't have to say anything. It's like they're looking back and forth and just like is.
He looks down, looks back and forth, looks back.
Like saying maybe. Maybe it could work out.
Yeah, we can do this.
Beautiful.
The herons, is that what those are?
I don't know.
Pelicans?
Just the entire thing's like, you'll never look at birds the same way again. And
right.
Now it's like, I mean, they don't forget a beat of, again, the philosophy, the thematic stuff.
There's no wasted dialogue.
Anything, just like it's economical. It remembers to tie up every little thread that it introduces.
Look at this shot. Dean Cundy. Motherfucker. Love you. And then this beautiful score.
Oh.
The theme, I guess. Michael Crichton and David Koepp.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I didn't realize that Crichton co-wrote the screenplay.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that.
I mean, he'd been doing...
Produced by Kathleen Kennedy.
I think Crichton did a few directing gigs here and there. He'd been getting sub-adapted for like 10, 15 years at this point.
Probably, yeah. Goldblum. The Englishman, Bob Peck.
I mean, it was so much like...
B.D. Wong is the scientist guy.
Yeah.
He was on Oz, he was on all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Look at that for a double bill. Sam Jackson, Wayne Knight. Love it.
And those are the kids.
Okay.
But yeah, it was...
Look at Dean Cundy. Thank you, sir. Great job. Love it.
I mean, it was such a thing. A friend of mine kind of pointed it out. It's like, for the people who like were fans of Star Wars, we were too young to see those and really experience what they meant in theaters. This was the film for it.
Yeah. I mean, you had your Jaws people, and then
seeing things you'd never seen before done this way on screen.
Yeah. This guy, yeah.
Murin, yeah, he's one of the elite.
Stan Winston, of course.
And Bill Tippett got him behind all the stop motion stuff, so he transitioned here and everything.
Very basic credits. I like it.
Yeah.
And then it switches over to this.
Yeah.
You're right, though. I mean, it was the first time that, like, this was one of the first movies that made me realize that, like, it was actual magic happening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And I know that sounds cliche, but like my entire childhood, when you asked me what I wanted to do, I said I wanted to do special effects in movies, and it was largely due to this. Go ahead.
My parents not only got me the VHS, they also got me the VHS of the making of Jurassic Park, hosted by James Earl Jones.
Oh, nice!
And this was the era where like there were shows on cable showing all the behind the scenes special effects of all these films. That's when I really got into this stuff.
Yeah, and it's so hard to imagine modern cinema without this movie as the
and it showed what was possible.
Right. It paved the way, I guess they say. Again, more cliche, but I guess I can't understate the importance, if you were around in 93, to see it. I mean, it still looks good today.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is going to hurt people, but I would put this up against any of the Marvel movies from a visual standpoint. Mm-hmm. Maybe not content, story, whatever, but just the artistry.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that this, to me, and maybe I'm just old, and maybe I may get off my lawner with the computers. I don't know, but this is magic. This is absolute magic.
I mean, it's so much of a film of. I mean, it's got everything Spielberg does. You've got the warmth and the quality of characters. You've got the horror. You've got the adventure. You got all the thrills. I mean, everything he could do is compacted in this film.
Interestingly enough, Schindler's List also has all of those things in a completely different setting.
Yeah.
Completely different setting. I'm going to have to look up these kids and see if they did anything.
Oh, Dean Cundy had a on-screen.
Oh, look at that. That's fun. Look at all these puppeteers.
Oh, yeah. Stunts. Anyone here? I know Patricia Tallman. She did a lot of Star Trek work and had a few other acting roles here and there.
Kauai. It was filmed in Kauai, Hawaii.
Well, George Lucas got a thanks.
Sure. Where is Jolt Cola? I did look it up. It was its own company, actually. I think it started in 85 and has since been sold on to, this company and sold on to that company and whatever. I don't think it's in production anymore. All right. Well, as we record this, or I guess as you're listening to this, it is time to go see the brand new. I guess it's the sixth one in the series. I think it might be the last one, but
we'll see.
You never know. Never say never. I'll probably go see it, even though I hated the fifth one. Hated it. Fallen Kingdom. Oh God. But yeah. So go see it. Then go back and watch this one, and relive your childhood and the magic of movies. And happy birthday to me.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Also available in the archives if you want to go watch that one too.
Yes, that film too. So guys, thanks much. Bye-bye.
We'll see ya.